This is Remix Report with your hosts, DJ JD and DJ J Spring. For the date of
December 17th, 2010.
Hey everyone, welcome to Remix Report episode 130. I'm DJ JD.
I'm DJ J Spring.
And today is another mailbag where we answer your questions.
Yes.
And as always, we appreciate your questions. And if you have a question for us, definitely hit us up at remixreport@gmail.com and please put mailbag in the subject.
Yes.
Alright, so to the first question. This one is, just wanted to get your opinion on the Beats by Dre studio headphones. Do you think they're good for DJing? Also wanted to get your opinion on the best headphones. That includes the requirements of sturdiness, sound quality, comfort, and DJ friendliness. And what headphones do we use?
First of all, I don't know if headphones are as important to me as they are for JD because he uses the volume quite a bit more than I do.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. Dude, when I went into, what was it? Was it Shrine? The other on Wednesday? I swear to God, the headphones were turned up all the way. Like, all the way.
That wasn't from me, though.
Okay.
That was from someone else.
Okay.
But, I would say the
Glad
Beats...
we got that out of the way.
The Beats by Dre, for one, are very expensive. It's not to say you shouldn't spend good money on headphones, because some might be worth it. The Beats by Dre, I wouldn't use them for DJing. I know other people that do, but there's a couple of reasons. One is they're noise canceling, which means that you have to have batteries in them for the noise cancellation to work. They're kind of like the Bose Quiet Comfort headphones, or Bose Quiet Comfort headphones. And I don't think those are really very good for DJing, because you don't want noise cancellation. You want to hear everything, and noise cancellation is really just pointless. I also don't know really how sturdy they are. Maybe they're sturdy, maybe they're not. I really can't say. But overall, I wouldn't choose those as headphones for me personally. But obviously, judge for yourself. Go check them out and listen to them and see. I personally currently use the Pioneer HDJ 2000s, which are about the same price point as the Dre's, so I can't really say too much about the price. They're very expensive. They're like $350. I've had them for a year and a half probably, and they're still going strong, and they are pretty sturdy. They have a lot of metal in them, but the plastic parts have broken, and the cord is very expensive to replace. They kind of tout that as one of the features, being able to replace the cord, but to replace the cord is like $90. So when I had to replace my cord, I just went to Sweetwater and got a different model cord, I think from one of the AKG headphones, and they work great. And that was only about $25. So
I actually use the Sony ones, and before that, for the longest time, I had a run of about 10 years where I just used the cheapest headphones I could possibly find. I used a lot of Radio Shack ones, and to be honest, as far as sound goes, I don't really keep my headphones that loud. I'm sure you do the same thing. I use this ear to listen to the music in the club or the monitor, and I have my headphone on this ear, and I don't know, for some reason I just don't have it that loud. So even the cheap ones, they worked fine for me. I mean, if you gave me the Pioneer, the Sony, I really could care less about the sound quality because I have it so low. But I will say that the Radio Shack ones did break very often. And the reason I ended up switching to the Sony is when I started DJing at nicer places, it just looked kind of tacky and it was kind of jokey having the Radio Shack headphones. So I did it all for to be cool.
I would say if you want volume, you definitely need to get good headphones. Like the Radio Shack ones are definitely not going to cut it if you want to listen at a loud level, like you might in a like really loud club. Also, always get the warranty on your headphones, I would say, because they are very likely to break. It's one of the only things I would recommend getting a warranty on.
The worst thing that would always happen to me is that one of the side things would snap off, but the wire would still be connected and it would just dangle with the little ear cup attached to the main headphone.
Worst.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
That's why I switched.
I mean, a lot of people use the Sonys. My favorite headphones ever were the Sony MDR V900s, which they don't make anymore. They're more studio headphones, but I used them for 2+ years in the club, probably 3 years, and they never broke. The wire is starting to come apart. That's the only reason I stopped using them. I wish they made them still. All right, next question. You mentioned Cinternet in an interview with the Anthem Kings. Thanks for that. It's been a huge help. One question though: what's the difference between the urban, rhythmic, pop, and hot AC timetables charts?
I think pop and hot AC, I think, is one. Urban R&B is more what you would hear on just a hip hop station, and a lot of times it's a station that doesn't play Sean Kingston or Flo Rida. It's more just straight hip hop and R&B.
Kind of like a Hot 97 in New York.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of stuff like, especially on the R&B side, they'll play a lot of R&B that you wouldn't hear on the pop stations, like Trey Songz, I Invented Sex, that kind of stuff is real popular on those stations. Even artists like Jasmine will get more play. A lot of Mary J. Blige songs that you wouldn't hear on the rhythmic, which is more the Flo Rida and the Sean Kingston kind of stuff.
Rhythmic is kind of like a Kiss station. It plays a little hip hop, a little pop, like kind of a mix of everything.
Rhythmic is more on the urban side than it is on the pop side.
Yeah.
Even though, because that's what you're on Jammin' 107, I used to do that too. And, I mean, we get away with playing, I think, Nelly Furtado and some of that stuff, but we would never play, like, Miley Cyrus or anything.
Right, yeah.
Flo Rida, Sean Kingston, Rihanna, those are the big names in rhythmic. As far as pop, that's pretty obvious, but at the same time, there's occasional crossover songs. I think like right now, Black and Yellow wouldn't have even made it to the pop charts yet.
No, definitely not. And it's more stuff like older pop and hot AC. Adult contemporary is what the AC stands for. So it's more like the 25 to 40 age range. What those people are listening to.
Thinking about what's on we probably should have checked the internet charts before we gave examples. But I think right now it's Katy Perry is huge on the pop charts. Even like songs like Good Charlotte, their new one, is on there.
Yeah, pop and hot AC is definitely going to have more rock than any other charts.
The rhythmic doesn't have any rock at all, by the way.
There's some other sites that are similar. The allaccess.com is a radio site that has pretty much charts for every radio station, like what they've been playing, how many rotations each song has gotten. So that can be a really useful tool, especially if you're traveling. You can use that to see what's hot in the market that you're traveling to, because it breaks it down really well for everything. So definitely check out allaccess.com as well. I think registration is free, so definitely check that out.
I was thinking maybe we should interview the guy who runs Cinternet, but I'm almost afraid to mention it to him because I don't know if this was really the intent of his site, is DJs logging on just to check what's popular.
Well, hey,
so
I'm sure.
I'm sure he'll take any views he can get.
All right, next question. I've been noticing that every song has a ton of remixes. How much time should I be spending looking for the best ones, and do the big time DJs actually go through all the sites and look?
That's a very good question. You're definitely correct. There are tons of remixes for every song.
Especially if it's a Katy Perry song.
Yes, I actually did the editorial right after we reviewed all the California Girls remixes because it just was kind of overkill. There's just so many.
Took forever.
It did take forever to go through, and that's part of our job. For those of you who check our site regularly, you know that occasionally we'll just go through the best remixes of a song, and in order to do that, we have to go through all of them. Think about it. DJ City, DMS, I-12-inch, Crooklyn, Crack, Your Remix, Strictly Hits. It takes a while to go through all those sites and to find all the remixes of a song. So I don't think we'd expect anyone to do that. Even as DJs who are full-time DJs, that's still a ridiculous amount of time and effort that could probably go to something better than just checking for every single remix of a song. It's a shame that it's come to that almost, because someone might put out a good remix that might go unnoticed because there's just so many of them.
I think that happens quite often, actually. And I think probably one of the best ways to get the best remixes is joining a good record pool. A record pool that you trust, that has a good reputation, because they kind of sift through a lot of the remixes themselves beforehand, before putting them even on the record pool for people to download. So I think that's a good way. Also, I mean, just kind of keeping on top of the remix sites, just looking every week at the new releases, kind of going through that, saves you a lot of time of having to go through and look for a specific track, but you can just kind of see what's new and what's hot and listen to really quick through that stuff.
I mean, I always kind of tend to look for the names that I trust. I mean, there's a lot of remixers that I know are constantly putting out good stuff, and those are the guys who I'll look at their mix of the song before I check out other people's mix of the song. Might be kind of unfair to some of the new guys who are coming up, but I mean, with a limited amount of time, if I see a bunch of remixes right before the club, I'm gonna shoot for the guys that I know, if I don't have time to listen to them all.
Yeah.
So that's what happens a lot.
I mean, that's what building a following is all about as a remixer. Like, people trust what you do, and that's how you build a following, and those people just come back and look for your stuff. And I mean, as far as how much time like big name DJs really spend on this stuff, it's really hard to say, but a lot of people probably have help from other DJs that they work with. A lot of those big guys probably have interns that help them sift through remixes and stuff.
And,
So
I mean, DJs always talk with each other too. Like, I'll always say to JD, "Hey, did you hear this guy's remix of this song?" And he'll say the same thing to me. And I mean,
yeah, definitely trading stuff back and forth.
Like, we usually, especially for the site, I mean, we're always talking about music, and he'll probably tell me the one that he plays, and I'll say, "Oh, you should be playing this one," and then we'll listen, and then we'll usually add the other's remix to our sets.
Definitely, I've done that many times.
Yes.
Alright, last question. I just started DJing at a club, and the owner doesn't want me to play hip-hop at all, but the crowd wants it. I feel like I'm not doing a good job because the crowd doesn't always like what I'm playing. What should I do? Well, this is a question that comes up more and more often, I think.
I think we might have even answered this question before in different words, but I guess first and foremost, always please the owner above everyone else.
They're paying your paycheck, definitely.
But I understand where it's frustrating, because you kind of feel like you want to kill it at your night because you think the owner's going to like that too, so it's kind of, what do you do?
And the owner knows what he wants for the club. If he wants to switch over the night, if it's been a hip-hop night for a while but he doesn't want a hip-hop crowd anymore, then he's going to tell you not to play hip-hop, and the crowd's not going to like it. But eventually, hopefully, the crowd will turn over, and that's what the owner wants, is the crowd to turn over, probably to get a more mainstream crowd. But it can be very frustrating when you're trying to really rock it and you can't.
And it is important to always talk to the owner and let him know how you're feeling. Just ask him, is this what you want for the music? I know the crowd always wants hip-hop, but I know you want me to play different stuff, so is it cool what I'm doing? It's definitely good to talk and let him know what you're thinking, and find out exactly what he wants, and if he thinks you're playing what he wants.
Communication is key.
Yes.
Communicate. It's good. And if you ever want to communicate with us, you can always log on to leave a comment.
Yes. Or you can email us, remixreport@gmail.com.
And also, don't forget to vote for the Remy's, the Remix Report Awards. It's right up there, the link. Click it and vote, because your vote matters.
Yes.
Alright, see you next time.
remixreport.com